Naguulat mula sa shore na kasing pretty ko.
Bringing you the latest and greatest.
And diving deep into the cool waters
of BLs and GLs.
And every kind of love there is.
We are the Shippers.
Sail with us as we watch our favorite queer love stories.
And update you about the latest every week.
Kaya tara, sakay na as we sail the open seas.
With new episodes Mondays and Wednesdays on all major podcast streaming platforms.
Sakay na you. Let's go.
The views, takes and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes and opinions of the Bunk Collective and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle everyone. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to your unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. And this is the MTV Show Podcast, a wrestling podcast. Yun. So, welcome to the show. Kailangan ko na lang lumayo para medyo walang feedback. No? Para wala ganong feedback na makuha. So, ayan, welcome to the show. We're recording this episode almost 3 in the morning. Wow. Nasanay na eh. Nasanay ng alas 3 ng umaga yung gising eh, no? Pero yun nga, welcome to the podcast and we're just dealing with some issues in a way na technical issues na inayos ko naman before the recording, almost 2 hours before the recording. And luckily enough, na-fix ko siya. So nakakatuwa, ano? I know, itong podcast, hindi ito nawawalan ng technical issues. When it comes to tech, oo, hindi naman perfecto in a way, no? So yun, mag-statement muna ako. My apologies on what happened sa last episode ng show. Ewan ko ano pang nangyayari. Actually, hindi ko alam. Pero I was trying to check my system and so good. Tumatakbo naman yung recording ko. Walang problema. Pero yung problema, medyo hindi maganda yung audio. So, yun ang napagdistikahan ko. Ngayon, I wish this episode is much clearer than what you expected last week. So, ayan, magandang bagay na naayos na natin yung audio. Ayun na nga. So, speaking with the subject, so, hindi na ako lalayo. So, ngayong episode na ito, we're just going to talk about WWE Fastlane. And a lot of things happened in the internet. Hindi lang sa internet, kundi sa pro wrestling. So, syempre, pag-usapan na rin natin. Isingit na rin natin dito sa episode na ito yung aking short thoughts for MWF Road to Fate. Sorry, napapatagal na. Ang tagal ko nang gustong magsalita about MWF Road to Fate kasi it's been 2 months. Hindi naman ako kagaya ng iba dyan na nagtatago sa sarili kong isip at sarili kong saya na I have reasons to. I have my day job. And unfortunately, di ko siya magawa ng madali, no? And gusto ko sana siya gawin last week pero wala, hindi talaga kinaya ng katawan ko. So, yun lang naman. Pero yun, pasensya na rin sa mga nag-antay din ng review ko for Road to Fate. And it's been 2 months since nangyari yung event. And almost 2 months later after of that, they announced that Jake De Leon will get his rematch versus Fabio Makisig at MWF Todos Los Wrestling. I guess, nasabi ko na siya ng tama ngayon. The funnier here is hindi ko siya nasabi ng maayos last week. Pero ayun nga, Todos Los Wrestling. Ayan, magti-take place na siya next Sunday sa Mandala, sa Mandaluyong. So, kung gusto nyo manood, it's 4:50. Mapapanood nyo rin naman sa Gank o sa Rakapanila. Kung hindi nyo mapapanood na live, ako, di ko rin mapapanood. So, I guess, yan na lang sa Noche Buena. For the meantime, while we're talking about those things, pamaya na natin pag-usapan si MWF. No? Mag-umpisa muna tayo sa Thursday or Tuesday Civil War na inumpisahan ng paglipat ng AEW Dynamite sa Tuesday. Ito, one time off lang ito. Paalala ko lang sa inyo. Ha? The reason AEW has to adjust their schedule on this week, actually, it's because of the MLB playoffs. So, yun lang ang context, ha. MLB playoffs forced AEW to get the fuck out of their typical Wednesday time slot para ma-occupy yung game. It's actually only on TBS, hindi TNT. I was trying to think last week when we were recording the episode na both TNT and TBS na nag-air. But it was actually my mistake na TBS at TNT. It's TBS lang. So that's why they are kind of forced to let go of the time slot for the meantime. And sige, parang ang naging mindset lang ni WWE is to adapt. Ayan na, ito, sabihin ko na sa inyo, I didn't like what happened on WWE's thing, no? Pero the reality kasi, it works on WWE. Because it's a WWE programming. Yung mga ganyang appearances, it works most of the time on their end. Hindi ko garantiya if every time there's a wrestler from the main roster appearing on the show, hindi natin garantiya na ito ay magli-lead sa ratings. Kasi may katapat ka din eh. You have to think as well. There's a competition. Competition is building ratings. And pag may competition ka, syempre, it may lead to something good or it may lead to something worse. So, usapan muna natin kung ano yung mga nangyari sa shows. Ano? So, NXT, ito na yung pinakamalaking show ng NXT. As they hype it whole show, they are saying this a lot. This is the big show of NXT. This is the big show, big show, big show. Natutulig na ako every time they say big show. Alam nyo, every time na they say it, parang gusto ko bilangin na. Ilan beses na ba nila sinasabi na ito na yung biggest show ng NXT? It's like 10 times. Almost of the time. Alam niyo, nagiging pet peeve ko yung mga ganyan, no? Na they love to overhype things. And I kinda hate that. Hindi ko i-defend yung both shows. But here's what I observed on both shows. Hear me out. NXT. Let's start with NXT first. NXT, in my opinion, was great on paper. So, here comes the John Cena appearance, the Cody Rhodes announcements, and yun nga, nag-GM siya, whole episode, and he will appear again on NXT. Naku po, good luck, Tony Khan. Ayun. So, meron siyang announcement. Wait. Let's confirm nga. Halloween Havoc na ba next week? Hindi pa eh. Hindi. It's 1 week before. No. So, ito John Cena And then we have this Cody Rhodes appearance, Undertaker appearance, Asuka appearance. Actually, I can consider Asuka's bonus. Pero, sige, let's combine all of them plus the Braun versus Melo in context was fantastic. Regardless on, sige, let's throw all of the part-timers out of the picture. And sasabihin ko, ang ganda pa din ng NXT. No? Yung 6-man tag, last week, putang ina, pre, ang ganda nun. Totoo lang. Hindi ako makapaniwala. This is happening on NXT. And happenings will always be happenings. And everybody should think about that. Pero sige, insert na natin sa picture yung mga part-timers and main roster guys doon sa buong episode na to. So tingin ko ito na yung pinakamalaki. And I almost forgot about Paul Heyman. So, in context, this is the biggest show. And, ewan ko ba, fan ba ako ng nangyari na to? Kinda. Yan lang sasabihin ko. Kinda. You know why? Hindi ako fan ng mga part-timers appearing on shows na for ratings lang ang agenda. Yes, it's a idea na naumpisahan na rin ng WWE. And I never liked that idea. Minsan I do, yun lang mga kagaya ng appearances ni Rock, sabi ko nga, i-enjoy lang natin to. It's a one-time off. I-enjoy lang natin. Yan lang yun. Pero, returns are returns and bad things are bad things. Let's keep that in mind. Wag na wag niyo ang kakalimutan in context. Kasi, pag sinabing bad things happen for a reason. Syempre, hindi mawawala yan. Ito na nga. Umpisahan na muna natin yung pag-recap sa show. And bago tayo mag-recap sa show, welcome to the MT Show Podcast. If you're listening on this podcast, follow nyo naman yung podcast na to sa lahat ng social media platforms at the MT Show Pod. You can support this podcast as well on Patreon, patreon.com/the MTG Show Podcast. And you can visit our website, thebunkph.com. Yun lang. So, umpisahan na nga natin sa NXT. So, syempre, comparison na naman to. Unahan ko na kayo. I'm not going to set my bias here. And I said it before, I didn't like the idea of NXT. Na, sige, may ganyan sa AEW, labanan natin. Batuhin na lang natin ang part-timers. Personally, I don't like that idea. No? Pero wala, it works. Like what I said, it works most of the time. And if that agenda goes, it works on them, it goes on them. Basic. Pero yun, umpisahan natin sa simpleng open, no? Yung show na to, typical naman dito NXT to, di ba? So, nakikibahay lang ang AEW. So, maintindihan ko kung bakit napakababa ng ratings ng AEW ngayong linggo. And pagbalik nila ng Wednesday, hindi natin mapipredict o hindi rin natin alam on what will happen on them as well. Co-plan na yan, ha? Regular na lahat ng mga nandun, ha? So, keep things in mind. First 30 minutes of both shows, Dynamite and NXT. May 30-minute no commercials. Also, keep this in mind as well, that merong match sa buy-in ng Dynamite, which is from 7:30 to 8, Eddie Kingston versus Daddy Minoru Suzuki. That was great, I admit. Pero sige, let's throw things out of the context now and let's start NXT. So, Cody Rhodes announced 3 things. Number 1, it's the men's breakout tournament. Number 2 is the Dusty Cup na men's. Obvious naman, men's na ba yan? And number 3 is siya yung nag-GM ng show na yon, episode na yon. So basically, Shawn Michaels, hindi naman siya GM di ba? Siya lang yung taong bahay. I just going to call him taong bahay kasi it is. Hindi na, wala naman GM Unlike Raw or SmackDown in mamaya pag-usapan natin yun in context. Ayun. So, Cody announced 3 things and here comes Dominic. Ewan ko bakit nagiging ewan ko ba't nagiging ingredients ng mga episodes ng Raw o SmackDown lately si Dom. Pero putang ina he works eh. That's the problem and that's what I like about Dom. Si Dom kasi is a specimen of how we should build heels. Siyempre, sabihin nyo na naman sa akin, ay si Christian dapat yun eh. Kasi siya yung mas vulgar magsalita eh. Oh, I agree naman on some points on that. Pero mamaya natin pag-usapan yan. Masyadong mahabang debate na ikumpara si Christian kay Dominic. Pero sige, let's throw it right away later. For now, recap muna natin tong show. So, Cody made his 3 announcements and then maraming agendang nangyari sa NXT na ito. So, umpisaan na muna natin with the booking. O syempre, sinabi ko na nga yung announcement sa Breakout Tournament, may Dusty Cup, and then siya yung GM ng NXT. So, Ilya, nag-appear siya sa show, and then Dom and Rhea Ripley arrived as well. So, they won a title shot for the NXT title, and Cody said that the match was made official, pero may catch. There's an LA night for the night. Pero itong mga promos na itong mga promos na to para sa akin, ito yung promos na typically tumatagal lang ng 10 to 12 minutes. Pero ito umabot ng almost 15. Ewan ko, it's kind of too much. It's because wala kasing commercials, so probably that's the reason why. Pero ito yung mga mga promos na alam mo na mafe-feel mo talagang big announcements. And that was a big announcement because Cody himself was the one who made that announcement. Pero, is that necessary to do it? Or promising ba? Hindi. Kasi laki naman nangyayari yun. Expected naman din na yung expected na rin naman kasi na mangyayari din sila down the road. Na-announce na kasi yung women's eh. So, paano yung men's? Yun lang yun. That's the logic how it goes. Pero sige, ang surprising dito was the NXT title match. Hindi ko na-expect yun. So, Dom challenged Ilya for the NXT Championship. Pero, this thing alone sold me on this whole episode of NXT. So, para sa akin, huge yun, no? So, recap muna natin yung mga nangyari, no? So, tong crowd na to, that was great as how Dom always works all the time. You know, Dominic Mysterio always works most of the time. And you know, if Cody speaks, hindi mo siya mai-ignore. Because he is a great storyteller. That's for sure. Cody, if you're not going to listen on Cody, para ka na rin nag-ignore sa utos ng nanay mo. Kasi that's how Cody goes. Kailangan talaga mag-full focus ka sa kung ano yung sinasabi niya. And if you missed one thing, magkakamali ka. That's how you should understand Cody's shit. Let's continue. Roxanne versus Asuka took place. And the match for me was sakto lang. I didn't say that was great, pero seeing Asuka is kind of nice to see to me. No? Pero okay. That was impressive? No. Sorry. Pero yun. So, ayun, meron ding appearance si Shotzi here. So, she said that mag-host siya ng Halloween Havoc with Scarlett. Night 1 lang ha, night 1. They were going to host Halloween Havoc night 1. And then, the match, Asuka versus Roxanne, sakto lang. Yan lang talaga, sakto lang. Sakto lang yung kaya ko ibigay. Pero, yun, the match was so good. And then, ito na nga, yung paborito ko, yung pub match between Brawly Brutes versus Gallus. Man, ito yung gusto kong matches na alam kong magugustuhan ng karamihan. If you're a WWE fan, hindi mo to magugustuhan. Kasi hindi to match eh. It's more on a brawl, no? So ito yung mga madalas na makikita mo na Stadium Stampede. This is how it goes here in WWE. And that's how I can compare the pub rules matches. And that's how good it is. So advance ko na this thing, missed opportunity siya sa akin na sana lang nilagay nila sa kickoff to, sa opener nila. Sayang. Sana ito yung nag-fill ng 30 minutes, hindi yung promo ni Cody na putang ina. Parang kaya na random for some reasons. Pero sana okay, sana ito na lang naging opener. Ganda sana, no? Pero yan nga. This is what I like on this NXT. They're throwing surprises. And they're delivering bangers. At the same time, they're introducing characters, which is good. Sinasabi ko na to few years ago pa na this is what NXT or this is what the color NXT looks like. They are delivering characters more than wrestling. And the first era ng ano bang era to? Ng NXT, yung Black and Gold, they are relying more on wrestling. On this era, they are delivering more about mas nagde-deliver sila ng matches na maganda. So they mixed it. So speaking of which, deliver. So we have a breaking news here as we speak. So Fightful just confirmed that wala pong CM Punk return na mangyayari. So ito was reported first by this thing was reported first by Fightful and Dave Meltzer, pero hindi ko pinaniwalaan yung kay Dave kasi masyadong kwento barbero. Pero yun nga, Fightful reported that CM Punk and WWE are not in talks. So malalaman pa rin natin kung ano yung mangyayari in next couple of weeks. So that's a breaking news. Wala pong talks between CM Punk and WWE. Okay, continue. So, ano ba tawag dito? Continue nga natin. Itong match na to, Pub Rules, I can recommend this easily as my match of the week because of how good it is and how it goes. And so, sobrang ganda, alam mo yun. Ito yung mga match na kung may non-WWE fan ako, nakakilala. Ito siguro yung isa sa mga matches na recently na ipapakita. Hindi yung mga big matches because how good it is. Ito, sama ko na nga rin kasi in-upload nila sa YouTube ng libre yung match nila last year. Nila Sheamus, ni Butch, tsaka ni Ridge Holland versus Imperium. Yung kanilang match sa Extreme Rules. I miss you, Bray, RP. Na-miss ko bigla yung appearance ni Bray, by the way, on that. Pero, in relate, ayun, pwede ko rin pakikita yun kasi on how good these matches are. Ganon, nag-work kasi ang yung Brawly Brutes. Doon kasi sila nag-work ng mas matindi eh. And that's why they're good stars and brawlers as well. Ayun, continue natin. So the match was good. Like holy hell, this is so good, man. So shit. Okay. So continue natin. So ito yung first commercial break. Na ang weird kasi tumiming sila ng 8:29 pero okay, I can accept that. Okay. Continue natin. So may promo si John Cena. Kinda unnecessary para sa akin. Pero sige, I can take it slide for now at least. Pero malalaman pa rin naman natin on how it should goes o ano ba yung mga pwedeng mangyari down the line. Pero continue natin. Sige. So Ilya versus Dominic. So LA Knight appeared as the referee. Here's how it goes. So itong match na to, mas nagbuka siyang hype boy si LA Knight mas nagbuka siyang hype boy. Joke lang. Ayoko kumanta. Pero yun, mas nagmukha siyang hype boy. Hi, New Jeans. Na joke lang. Mas nagmukha siyang hype boy dito sa crowd. Sobrang over niya kasi. Sobrang over ni LA Knight. Yung pagkumpas niya ng kamay, almost every time. Like, putang ina. Sobrang natatawa ako. Every time he does that, parang, ano ba tawag dito? LA Knight's just over as fuck. Wala akong masabi na hindi maganda. And I hope WWE can capitalize on that. Because if hindi, bahala kayo. It's your fault. Okay. So, but the match, yes, that was good. Ilya versus Dam. Sakto lang. Pero that was good match. So, para sa mga ibang matches. Pero yung kay LA Knight, putang ina, distracting kasi sobrang over niya eh. Pero ano yan, so wala rin naman siyang reason para hindi siya ma-involve. Pero na-play niya naman yung role, so it's kind of works for me. So no big deal. Continue. So, ano ba tawag dito? Mamaya pag-usapan nga, i-continue ko nga yung pinag-uusapan natin nung umpisa kasi medyo nabitin ko siya. May apologies on that. Yan. So, the match was good. Ilya defeated Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, for the NXT Championship. Okay. Continue nga natin. So, nag-umpisa na yung breakout tournament. So, Lola Vice defeated Danny Palmer for the women's breakout. So, feeling ko talaga si Lola Vice. Okay. So, feeling ko si Lola Vice yung isa sa mga mananalo dito sa tournament. O kaya si yung anak ni Santino. That will be great as well. No? Pero, the match was flat. The match was flat. Yun lang. That was flat. So, si Brian Pillman Jr., nag-appear na siya sa TV, no? Nag-appear na siya sa TV for the first time in WWE. So, ang name niya na actually was Keng. So, hindi niya ganun explain. So, like si Keng. So, parang he highlighted yung pagkaayaw niya sa legacy ni Pillman. No? Pero yun, si Tiffany backstage, she interrupted Asuka. Pero okay, so that was a good presentation on Tiffany. Sa totoo lang, no? Pero di pa rin ako maniniwala na ano ba tawag dito? Makakabawi pa sila dito, that's for sure. Para i-continue nga natin. So, Melo, Braun, the biggest match advertised. So, Braun was defeated by Melo and parang mas na-highlight pa yung mga guests. Sorry. Parang yun ang observation ko. Mas na-highlight yung mga guests kaysa doon sa match. O sa even the post-match. So, let's talk about it. So, Braun was defeated by Melo thanks to Cena and Solo Sikoa continuing the sequence. And then si Melo, he hits with nothing but net. Then, the match was it. Then, Undertaker arrived and then he confronted Braun Breaker. And he had to choke slam him. Then, ayun. So, he helped Melo. So, ito talaga yung inaasahan ko. Breaker and Carmelo, actually, they're just good as fuck. They're better rivals. And the match was so fucking good. No. The match was so good. Pero hindi rin siya showstopper. Definitely. Pero, pero ito, yan lang. Parang ang goal lang ng episode na to was to present Breaker and Melo more as the faces of NXT and yung pag-present din nila kay Roxanne as the future women's champion in a way. And Tiffany lalo na si Tiffany. Si Jade Cargill, nakita rin natin sa episode na to pero medyo nabitin ako sa appearance niya. Pero Cena and Paul Heyman tsaka lahat okay lang. Parang okay lang sa akin yung abang tawag dito. Okay lang sa akin yung mga naging presentation nila. Pero still, some of the appearances like LA Knight at saka yung kay Asuka, feeling ko hindi siya kailangan most of the time. Pero it works. Like what I said, most of the appearances works on the wrestlers. It depends actually na lang on how they are going to use the card. So like what I said, ito yung tinatawag ko na part-timer card. Pag kailangan mo ng ratings, ito yung kailangan mong i-pull. And that's what NXT pulled here. Ito, AEW. Sinabi ko nung una kung ano yung good sa akin with NXT. So, what I'm good on NXT is mas na-highlight nila more yung mga homegrown like Melo and Ilya, tsaka si Prod, tsaka sila Roxanne at Tiffany. So, that's what I'm good with the episode. Tapos, medyo na-highlight din nila ng madala na mas nag-rely sila sa mga main roster guys. Ito, AEW in the other hand, yes, huge din. Pero in a way na they are focused more on Adam Copeland's AEW debut. And correcting mistakes of their title changes recently. So, in-explain to context. So, like what I said, ito yung naging debut ni Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus. So, ano ba tawag dito? Yung buy-in nga, that was a really good buy-in. And then, Danielson versus Strickland na nangyari sa match din as well for the contendership ng TNT title. Pero yun, let's talk about the whole thing. So, start natin, Minoru Suzuki versus Eddie Kingston. Ito yung buy-in as well. Buy-in nito. So, ano ba tawag dito? This is one of the matches na sa tingin ko dapat na sa main card ng show. Hindi yung kay Jericho. Putang ina, but why are you throwing Jericho every time? There's a big shit in AEW. It feels unnecessary to me. Sorry about that. But Eddie and Minoru Suzuki, this is a match that I really like. Kung may rating ako nito, siguro bigyan ko siya ng at least 4 because on how good it is. Sobrang, sa tingin ko 4. Ito, I can give it 4. Okay. So, continue natin. So, ano ba tawag dito? Sana lang naging main match ito sa main show, pero hindi. I don't know why Tony Khan is smoking like this. Okay. So, umpisahan natin. Bryan Danielson defeated Swerve Strickland and he will face Christian Cage for the TNT title later sa TNT sa Collision. So, para sa akin, sobrang ganda. Like, holy fuck. Ano ba tawag dito? Like, holy fuck. That was a really good match. Like, Swerve, Danielson, magsama sila. Putang ina. That was a really good. And also, para sa akin, itong match na to proved that Strickland is proving himself as he is a main event level talent. And ang dami sunod-sunod na Hangman, then ito. Then now, Danielson. Tapos putang ina pre. You won't be disappointed with his performance because he's just so good. No? Pero yun, sobrang ganda rin kasi. Then, si Tony Khan, kung mamaya na natin pag-usapan si Tony Khan. I have a lot of words for Tony Khan later. Okay, so Jericho versus Hobbs, unnecessary shit. Yes, it's very good for business para kay Hobbs na para ma-showcase siya. But it's kind of unnecessary. Sorry, parang unnecessary siya para sa akin. Yun lang. Then ito, one of the mistakes that they have to correct was to retain or to Orange Cassidy to regain his AEW international title. So, Jon Moxley not medically cleared to compete ulit. Then, Orange Cassidy challenged Rey Fenix for the title. Sa tingin ko na legitimize na talaga niya yung belt na to. So, Orange Cassidy actually ended the reign real quick. Ewan ko, mamaya, gusto ko tirahin muna ito. Let's start with this. So, sana na lang, hindi na lang nila dinarap from Mox yung Tyro. O hindi na lang nila dinarap kay Max yung Tyro. Then, mas maganda sana ng ending if Orange Cassidy actually defeated Jon Moxley for the AEW International title. That would be great. Then, sana dinarap na lang nila kay Ricky Starks o kaya kay Swerve. That was a missed opportunity. Parang bobo. Pero okay, sige. Nag-paid off yung kanyang depression story ni Orange. Pero ang punto ko lang, ang unnecessary kasi ng mga wins nila Mox at ni Phoenix. Yes, it's injury lane. Very understandable. But still, it's kind of unnecessary at this point. Pero, sige. I can consider that. Pero, sige, bahala na. Pero ito, sige. Ito, Toni Storm introduced her first film. Love. Sorry, pero natatawa ako kasi nasa picture-in-picture siya. And putang ina. Sobrang nakakatawa na kasi ito pinapakita na sa picture-in-picture. Like, holy hell. Holy fuck. I love it. I love Toni Storm. Like, holy hell. That was so good. Pero, tangin na pre, siya na seryosohin talaga ni Toni kanyang women's division. Kaya yung mga na-release dyan na WWE talents, kung gusto nyo magkaroon ng promotion, never consider AEW. I can give you my word on that. No? I can give you my word on that. Ayun. So, Wardlow squashed Matt Sydal. Jay White defeated Hangman Adam Page. And then, ito na nga yung promo ni MJF and, bantawad dito. So, they announced a Diamond Battle Royale next week. And then, the winner will face MJF for the belt. Pero, wow. They're not going to strip MJF out of the ring no? Parang weird na ginawa nilang personal object ni MJF yung ring na yun no? Pero sige, yung parang may controversial line na medyo related sa Jewish role ni MJF sa kanyang religion. Parang ang necessary niya. Pero siguro may na-add siya na gravity doon sa feud na ano ba tawag dito? Merong something. Basta may something siya na hindi siya kailangan. Pero nakatulong siya further sa pag-elevate ng story. Which is a good thing to me. Okay, continue. So, Jay White. Pero po, namin. Nakita niyo yung entrance ni Jay White nung Collision at Dynamite. With the belt. As much as I laughing on this, that was a really good entrance, man. I want Jay White with the belt. At this point going forward, can we please give Jay White this fucking belt? I like MJF. I do. But can we please give him the belt already? Wala si Adam Cole, so there's no fucking reason to continue the reign with the belt. And then MJF can continue his shit with Adam Cole and the rest of the kingdom. Diba? And Jay White can legitimately establish this new era Tony Khan is currently establishing at the moment. So hanggat hindi nangyayari lahat ng yon, si Adam Copeland lang talaga yung new era na tinatawag nila. I have to say it because I have to say so. That's the reality. Pero sige, this match, Hangman versus Jay White was so good. Like, holy hell. That was so good. Okay. So, ito, isa pang title change na ginawa nilang Ando. Correct and Ando. Ito, Saraya versus Toni Storm. So, Saraya versus Hikaru Shida. So, Hikaru Shida defeated Saraya to become the first time ever 3-time women's champion. So, ewan ko. Ito akin to. So, Saraya returned to the ring as one of the best emotional stories in AEW like ever. Pero medyo questionable sa akin na wala siyang nagiging matches. Tapos yung comeback niya na to, medyo, ano bang meron? Ano bang meron? Para sobrang noticeable kasi niya na medyo it's either hindi siya ayaw niya mag-defend or feeling ko it's not that good enough to defend. Parang may opportunity kasi na hindi pa siya good to go talaga. And Tony did this just for the pop doon sa Wembley Stadium. Pero wala ka rin ako magagawa dyan. Pero like what I said, kung hindi kailangan, wag mong gagawin. Kung may gagawin ka, give us a proof. Tsaka lang. Kung hindi kailangan, wag niyong gagawin. At kung kailangan mo lang siya para sa cheap pop, gawin mo. Pero baguhin mo agad. Correct your mistakes. That's what they did here. Okay. So, both of the reigns, let's face it, Max, Phoenix, Saraya, wala. They're just bad as fuck. All of the reigns are just bad as hell. But for the meantime, the Tony Storm was so good, man. Tony Storm appeared here as well. Pero that was so good. Holy fuck. Pero ang ganda sana if Tony Storm was the one who defeated Saraya for the belt. That would be great sana. Pero sobrang sayang. No? Sobrang sayang nun. Then the main event, Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus. The match, ano ba tamang rating ito? The match itself, I can say B-. B-, yun. B-. The match, sa tingin ko lang, ang labo. Kasi, yes, they're building a story with Christian Cage in a window. Pero, parang ang pakiramdam ko, they're just silver lining everything. Like, yes, I love Adam Copeland and this match was really good. But feeling ko, yung paghalo-halo ng mga storylines dito talaga ako nalalabuan in every AEW stuff. Parang sobrang labo. Pero sige, if Christian's not going to win or if Danielson's not going to win this match, screw this shit. Pero yun lang. Sige, the match was a really good presentation sa AEW fanbase for Copeland's debut. And yung idea na si Luchasaurus, putang ina pre, parang ang proofing nito hindi lang back up si Luchasaurus. So that's what they pointed out here. And it's kind of good to me. No? So, yun lang. The match was great actually. In debut para sa akin. That was okay. Pero for now, let's take things out of the window. Pag-uusapan pa rin kasi natin yung Fastlane. Pero sige. NXT, sabi ko nga, they relied on... I have to remove this. NXT relied more on the stars before AEW relied on their current storylines, which is a good thing, no? AEW can capitalize everything as long as Tony Khan is not going to open his mouth shitting Triple H and Shawn Michaels on X or Twitter na sobrang proud ka pa na sinishit mo yung mga kalaban mo. I know this is a business move, but that was a dumb business move. Parang ganito kasi nangyari . Parang may dalawang drugstore na naglalaban. Tapos yung isa may gamot, yung isa may gamot, may grocery. So syempre, mas maraming pupunta doon sa may grocery na drugstore kasi sobrang kompleto niya na. Mas kompleto yon. Pero ang problema, itong drugstore lang, nagparinig. Meron daw kasing tae sa ilalim ng lababo ng cashier ng tindahan na yon. So, syempre, yung siraan ng ganun, direct to the point na. So, ganun yung ginawa ni Tony Khan. And he went out of the window just to prove his point But I don't think Tony Khan needs to shit on himself here because he is being exposed of what he's truly are. Diba? Tony here, it's getting exposed. Pero sige, pag-usapan muna natin yung show, no? So, yung show na to was great. Dynamite was great. NXT was great either. Pero I have to go close to Dynamite because of the matches. Yung first hour, holy hell, one of the best episodes. Second hour, that was flat. Pero sige, ano ba tawag dito? Kung ito yung comparison nyo sa NXT, I have to lie na, ano ba tawag dito? Kailangan talaga siya ng competition. Pero felt siya na show. Ito yung show na wala namang magandang nangyari. Iyan yung problema sa Dynamite na to. So, unlike NXT, yes, NXT was really good kasi may pabitin sila na parang kailangan mo i-look forward for next week. Ito sobrang flat. No? Ito yung broadcast na matawag dito. Hindi sila nag-remind na manood kayo next week. Ang niremind agad nila, wag na kayong manood sa amin. Dahil kay Tony Khan. Pero overall, the episode of Dynamite was good. Yung NXT then was good. Pero I have to give match-wise the ahead to Dynamite because of how or what kung ano may nangyari sa mga matches first hour ng Dynamite. Except kay Jericho, of course, and Wardlow. Pero yun, overall, both shows great. I have to give my edge lang sa Dynamite because mas sa tingin ko lang, mas maganda yung naging matches nila overall. Hindi ko na sinama yung mga shit matches tsaka yung mga redo matches ng Dynamite. Pero overall, both of the shows win. NXT relied on part-timers and yung mga pasabog nila sobrang huge. Pero hindi sila worth noting. Dynamite relied on the storytelling, which is I'm good for. No? So, like what I said, sa mga GC, mas nag-rely ang NXT sa paggawa ng dating gawin nila. Yung mga ginagawa nila before. And that's how that's NXT works. I'm not that sure if may continuity ito. Sure naman ako may continuity. Pero Dynamite, in the other hand, they just focus on Tony Khan's shit. Tony Khan is shitting on social media. A lot of tweets popping up on social media about Tony. Sorry. A lot of shit popping out on social media. Tony Khan is just, what in the world? This shit is going on. Tony Khan exposing himself. It's just unnecessary as fuck. Sorry, I have to check social media. So therefore, I can check context of what the hell Tony Khan is doing for the past few days. So Tony Khan, eto, teka, hanapin natin yung tweet sa X. O yung post sa X bago tayo mag-commercial break. So, yung mga bias dyan kay Tony Khan, lumayas kayo sa podcast na to, sa episode na to. Kasi hindi ko kayo kailangan dito. I have to throw things on Tony kasi hindi kayo matututo yung mga marks dyan. Yung mga marks, sobrang nababaliw. Pero ito yung ratings ng NXT, lumabas na din. So, nanalo ang NXT sa ratings. Siyempre, 921k, tas 609 sa Dynamite. Ito yung malalalala na nagme-melt. sorry guys. Ayun, medyo malala yung naging meltdown ni Tony Khan. Sige, I have to hold it na nga. Putang ina mo. Ayun, si Tony, alam nyo, nag-meltdown. Malalalala yung naging meltdown niya sa Twitter. Alam mo yung every time I see Tony Khan doing like that, it's either natutuwa ako na tinisbayaran ako sa kanya. Yung ugali niya kasi pang kalye. And every time Tony does that, there's something like nag-self-destruct na si Tony. Pero sige, si Tony, nagpa-panic mode siya eh. So ito we have to, matawag dito? So ito, reference natin. Si Tony is being active on X all week long, and his social media posts has become more embarrassing by the tweet. Every tweet that he's saying, parang sinamon niya din yung curb your enthusiasm. They're referencing WWE as dicks. Then Triple H, nag-meme din siya para tawagin si Triple H tsaka si Shawn Michaels na bald assholes. Pero ito, sige, isa pang reference. So, Tony Khan took repeated shots at Vince McMahon for his sexual misconduct allegations. And sinabi niya rin na hindi siya mananalo sa Booker of the Year. In context, gusto ko i-explain sa inyo. Ito po yung award na binibigay ni Tony Khan sa AEW in context. So, never naman nila bibigyan si Vince or WWE ng mga ganitong award. So, it's a paper award trophy na pinapamigay nila ng mga may podcast nowadays. Kasama na ako doon. Pero I don't care. Tony Khan is just a fucking asshole. I know na ito, sunod-sunod. So, ang nakakatawa, Tony Khan actually referenced John Cena and The Undertaker here. So, ito, meron siyang tweet few days after that shows. So, this week, 2 active decade-long rating streaks from 2 great legends were ended with all due respect until this week's head-to-head AEW on TBS versus WWE on USA. Neither John Cena or Undertaker had ever been on a WWE show with under 1 million total views plus 400 in demo. Under Tony Khan increasingly bizarre tweet. Putang ina pa. Ayan, naging analytic siya bigla eh. Naging analytic prick siya eh. So, nag-celebrate siya, moral victory daw siya na Tony or Undertaker and Cena appeared on a show na hindi magkakamilyon. Nag-note din siya na yung the no million tweet was a response to people who refers to him every Thursday pag hindi siya nagmi-million. Pero keep in mind na, ano tawag dito? Dave Meltzer will always be soccer. Okay. So, tingnan nyo lang maigi ha. Si Dave will always be a Dave or Tony Khan soccer. That's for sure. Ito. So, may nabasa tayo. So, there was also a strategic message and posting in the sense the 1 million post came at the same time he released the Jay White versus Penta match for next week, with the idea that the post would lead to more engagement for the announcement of that match. So, Khan antics extended into Friday as he posted in a tweet discussing his mother's health issues. Huh? I don't want to make fun of this, first and foremost. But Tony Khan is putting himself into a fucking nail of the coffin just because of that. He is a fucking sad boy right now. I have to say this. And I have to give it to you guys. Ayan. So may antics si Tony Khan na sinabi niya na dinidiscuss niya yung issues of her mother. And then, as expected, nag-backfire. So, not that I should be surprised, but the same WWE avatar accounts that spam me every day, no matter what I say or what it's about, now turned their wrath to mom recovering from a near-death experience. Is why I straight hate these people to the bottom of my heart with all my soul. Dude, pag may problema sa company lang ang i-focus mo. Huwag mo hilalo yung nanay mo. Hirap sa'yo eh. Nagiging sad boy ka. Napupunta ka sa iba't ibang bagay eh. Just focus on your fucking product, bro. So sige, explain ba natin yung context? So, Tony Khan continues to roll around in the weeds with the bottom of the Bird app or X app. So, despite his wealth, they're the people he relates to more than any. So, is out of fucking touch. Umabot na sa punto na even Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, yung mga kanang kamay na nila, this guy needs to get off Twitter or X with all due respect. I have heard nothing but Tony needs to get off his phone and stop tweeting. Alam nyo, kung ako kasama ko si Tony Khan, ibabato ko yung cellphone sa dagat kasi hindi ko na ibabalik. Seryoso, men. Seryoso. Para lang matigil siya, yung ganyan. Yung mga ganyan tweet, hindi yan titigil hanggat hindi yan binibigyan ng palumo ng lunas. Ibata mo sa dagat o basagin mo yung cellphone. Tapos, problem solved. Alam ko, mapera siya, pero bibili siya ng bago. Pero, it sounds unnecessary why people like Tony Khan is shitting. Parang, you are complaining on your loss. Which reminds me of someone, few years ago, same outcome. And now, people are worshiping him for what he accomplished. And now, asan siya? Pero sige, last na. Bago tayo mag-break. So, and you know who I've heard that about. So, I have not heard about this from the fans. I have to heard from the people in WWE. But do you know who I heard that about? So, it's from the AEW themselves. Sinabi yun ni Brian Alvarez. So, they're like, can somebody get this guy off of his phone? Can get him off of Twitter. That is from AEW, not WWE. So, sige. Khan's social media stuff have been entertaining, sure. Pero feeling niya kasi, feeling niya kasi nakakain siya. O napifeel niya kasi yung pressure. No? Sure yun. Hindi na rin siya pinaka-hottest, for sure. Or edgier alternative to the WWE. Pero ang sure kasi natin, WWE is not on Vince shit anymore. Pero sige, continue pa natin. So perhaps Tony Khan is crazy like a fox and his antics are being done to deter people from his budding anti-Semitism controversy. Pero I don't care. At this point, we're just enough. Ito lang i-sure ko. Tony is just poking his shit. Yung conflict niya, sobrang unnecessary. Parang ang view of point ko na nga dito is declaring a war. And with that said, Tony at this point is just throwing his shit out. And putang ina. Sobrang sakit sa ulo. Kung may sumusuporta kay Tony Khan, wala ba akong problema sa inyo. I respect you guys. Pero, the point here, ano bang tawag dito? Yung mga sumusuporta kay Tony, sure, I respect you for that. I respect your opinion with that. Pero, ang sigurado ako, we have to take things out of consideration para klaro. Para wala rin lokohan. Para wala naman masyadong, ba tawag dito? Para hindi ka naman nagmumukhang gago. Ang problema kasi Tony is just crying as fuck on X, like is on desperate mode. Pero continue na lang natin yung dugo na aamoy na nila. Sobrang amoy na amoy. if Tony continues to do this shit over and over and over again, kakainin siya ng buhay. And he might get the same fate as Impact. Pero yes, Impact is still alive. Pero the problem that Tony Khan has, like, stop tweeting all the time. If you failed, you failed. Just stop. Pahinga ka lang. For now, ang punto ko lang dyan, ang nakakatawa lang, is Tony Khan, yung nagbato siya ng mga shots, tas pinipilit niya na hindi daw siya mananalo ng Booker of the Year. Like, putang ina, si Meltzer lang naman nagbigay niyan sa'yo. That's a problem. Yun ang hirap sa'yo na by anybody with a wrestling podcast these days. Pero yes, I agree with that point. Pero, putang ina kasi, pinagpipilitan mo kasing maging proud sa sarili mo kasi nanalo ka ng Meltzer Awards. That's the problem. Masyado kasing humahangin yung ulo mo. Kaya feeling mo, kaya mo na magbuhat ng sarili mong bangko. Pero seriously, TK, stop with this shit. Cut the shit, man. Just enjoy wrestling. That's what we are trying to deal with here. We're just enjoying wrestling. And you're not. You're just enjoying yourself. That's for sure. Diba? Yun lang yun eh. Ayan, sige, nakaka 1 hour na tayo sa podcast. May chance pa tayo na mag 2 hours dito sa episode na ito. So for now, we're going to take our short break. Let's check our bunkmates here on Bunk Collective.
Hey everyone, this is Mo Twister, and you're listening to the Kingdom Podcast with the voice, DJ Yuki.
That was the OG, Mo Twister, promoting this podcast. If you like Korean pop culture, or know someone who does, then get into it, and visit our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at the Kingdom Pod PH.
We're proud to tell you that this is one of the premier shows to go to for your weekly dose of K-pop. So drop everything and listen to the Kingdom Podcast. Available in all your podcast streaming platforms.
Join us!
Annyeong, we are One to Sarang,
your next favorite Hallyu podcast.
We talk K-drama.
Mandaming kilig every time
we
K-drama.
We also talk K-pop.
Yung feeling ko sa 17 na they bring me so much happiness.
And we live to entertain.
What you gonna do when Dicky steak in front of
Check us out now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Also on YouTube. Join us sa Tawanan at Kwentuhan from One to Sarang.
Ito, welcome back to the show. Pasensya na yan. So, welcome back to the show. You're listening to the MPT Show podcast. Pasensya na kung di nyo na narinig yung intro ko. Ang haba kasi nung talk natin kanina. So, if you're listening to this, I hope you can now enjoy this long shit-ass episodes that we're doing right now. So, sige, ito na yung gagawin nating format. Going forward, sinusubukan ko siya. Kung mag-workout siya, sige, good. Pero ito na yun yung normal sa show na to. Na mas mahaba yung episode. So, continue na nga natin. So, umpisahan natin with the new GMs na na-introduce sa Raw, SmackDown. So, umpisahan natin with Nick Aldis. Mamaya na tayo mag-fastlane. So, hapyawan na lang natin yung fastlane in a way, no? Since nangyari naman na ang nangyari, so most likely, i-recap na natin yung fast lane, no? Kasi nabigyan ko na rin naman ng puntos ng ating podcast review. Kung napapakita nyo na siya sa Patreon, congratulations. Ayan. So, fast lane, noticeably, one of the weakest shows in WWE history. And this 2-hour show by WWE is, in my perspective, is already better than what they done on today's show on SmackDown. So, summary na natin yung mga nangyari. So, John Cena appeared on SmackDown, opener of SmackDown, by welcoming them to the show. And here comes Roman Reigns. He appeared on the show and is teasing Roman Reigns to get the fuck out of the ring since it's not his show anymore. It's Roman's now and he's the GOAT. And he hates na ginagloat si Cena ng mga announcers, even he hates that idea. So sige, pero LA Knight appeared to the ring and they teased something, and LA Knight challenged Roman Reigns for the undisputed championship. I have to restore my Ayan. So Roman was challenged by LA Knight and sobrang over ng crowd to as fuck. And they treated Knight as equal as Cena and Reigns. Like holy fuck. Like holy hell. This is so good. And yung mga tao, yung mga formation here, Cena, Reigns, Knight. Holy hell. Holy shit, that was really good. Sobrang ordinary. And hindi ko ma-imagine how or everyone o paano nangyari lahat na nangyari na to kay LA Knight. Hindi ko ma-imagine. So, continue. Ano tawag dito? John Cena, he will never die. The hype on him will never ever die. That's for sure. Okay. So, si Roman, putang na, sobrang star power as fuck. Halatang halata. Pero okay, sige. Ano ba tawag dito? Ang LA Knight versus Roman, sobrang ganda nito on paper. Most over guy in the WWE right now versus the face of the WWE na over right now. That was a really good idea to begin with. I cannot wait to see Crowd Chivo down the road as well. Okay, so continue natin. So, may mga matches I can skip. So, Triple H announced something here. So, Adam Pearce was promoted as the general manager of Raw. And then Nick Aldis is now the general manager of SmackDown. So, also, Nick Aldis as well announced that, ano ba tawag dito? He announced that ito yung pwedeng mag-shape sa susunod na programming ng SmackDown with Nick Aldis introduction. Pero ito, yung introduction ni Nick sa TV, that was a good presentation. Hindi man siya yung kahabaan na presentation kay Nick. Pero feeling ko that was a really good time, a really good presentation on him. Lacking, yes, kasi medyo hindi siya ganong na highlight throughout the show. Dalawang segments nga lang ata yung napakitaan niya. Pero sige, I can take it slide for now. Pero sige, si Adam Pearce is now the GM of SmackDown. And Adam Pearce is on Raw. Si Aldis on SmackDown. That's a win-win. Both of them are former NWA champions. And that was a win-win. Also, si Kevin Owens is the one who was traded for Jey Uso. And he attacked Dominic Mysterio after the segment na yan. And sobrang worthy nito. I-take note. Like, holy fuck. That was a really good shit, man. Okay, so si Aldis for sure, ba tawag dito? For sure, mara-refresh na yung authority figure shit sa SmackDown. Ayun. So, ito, daming notes dito. That was a really good shit, man. At saka isa pa, yung presentation kay Aldis, that was a really good, man. I know this is not perfect presentation on him, but it feels like very appropriate. And sa tingin ko naman, kaya naman siyang resolbahin ng mga segments na magagawa nila down the road. It's not perfect debut for sure, but the presentation and things are endless with Nick Aldis. Down the line, for sure, magkukumpit yan. Hindi naman closable, hindi naman sinabi na habang buhay GM lang si Nick Aldis. I want to see him compete as well down the line. And for sure, we can see him compete as well. Yun lang. For sure, ito, notes din. So, Cody and Jey Uso will defend the titles against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. So, na-announce nila yon. So, open challenge yun eh. Sobrang open challenge. And the match was great as fuck. Sobrang ganda din, no? And, ano ba tawag dito? Yung last segment of the show is the appearance. Sorry, di pa pala yun. So, nag-appear si Roman after the segment nila Cody. The match nila Cody and Jay. The match was strong and the ending was strong as fuck. And napigilan nga sila ni Nick Aldis. They have to be forced na pigilan. And that was a really good presentation on them as well. May plano sila dyan, panigurado. Meron pang story na kailangan tapusin. And yung shit na to is putang ina. Big failure of his WWE run right now. And he's facing it right now. Pero for sure, we're going to get a rematch on that at some point. Pero sige, ito sa pang note from Nick Aldis. He announced Charlotte Flair vs. Io Sky for next week. And yun na nga, Jade Cargill made her first appearance on WWE's programming with a wrestler. So Charlotte versus Rhea. I cannot wait to see that soon. Definitely. That was a really good shit, man. Then, medyo silly siya, yes, in a way. Pero, tong tag na to, ang weird basta, ang weird kasi, pero medyo silly siya na, itong tag team titles na to, na nakuha ni KO, ni Nick Aldis si KO, para mag-return si Jey Uso. Tapos kailangan din mag-return ni Jey Uso. Kasi, tag champion siya. Ang silly masyado, ang silly niya. Ang shit masyado. Parang hindi maayos yung clause nung tag titles. At some point, gusto ko na rin talaga maghiwalay yung dalawang belts. Yan talaga yung impression ko dyan. Pero ito, LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. So, sa akin, very acceptable siya. The match was very acceptable. As usual, Bloodline is appearing again in this sequence. Si Cena, parang asset siya kay LA Knight. So, kinda parang kailangan pa din siya dito sa story na to. Hindi siya kailangan lumaban, for sure. Hindi niya kailangan lumaban. Pero asset kasi siya ni LA Knight. And it works on them, no? So, involvement niya nag-work. So, dyan mag-evolve yung sequence ng mga stories na nangyari sa programming na ito. And which is good for them too. So, they are cementing shit down the line. Pero, gumaganda yung timing of what we're trying to look here. They're establishing LA Knight with Cena on the corner. Then, Roman, as usual, establishing himself with the biggest baby face. That's a good thing. Diba? Diba? Yun. So, that's it for the SmackDown. So, SmackDown overall season premiere, hindi siya disappointing. Meron din mga na-introduce na stories and yung arrival ni Nick Aldis, interesting siya kasi may history naman sila, alam niyo naman yan. No? Yun yung twist na kailangan talaga magli-lead between Roman and Cody down the line. And yung kay Kevin Owens, for sure, that will be great as well. Parang siya yung mag-feel kasi kay Sheamus for the meantime. Pero, for sure, maganda yung bagay na yan. Pero question here is, paano nga ba makakapitalize ng WWE itong appearance ni Nick Aldis? For sure, hindi naman niya kailangan makipag-feud. Hindi niya rin kailangan maging wrestler na maglalaban timely. From time to time. Ano ka, si Austin Aries. Naalala ko talaga yung return ni Austin Aries before. Ayun, so may GM na ang Raw at SmackDown. So ano ba yung mga nilook forward ko? So sana, hindi naman sa ayaw ko ng 5-on-5 mga Battle Supremacy. Pero feeling ko hindi siya kailangan. Ngayon, oo. Pero yung mga ganyan, sana sundan din ang draft. No? Sana yung ganitong bagay, masundan ng draft, hindi lang ganito. Kailangan natin syempre ng WWE draft para ma-justify din yung mga sequence na mangyayari pa. in the next couple of weeks. Kasi ito na yung umpisa nun nagkaroon na ng GM, so it may lead next to draft. Kaso ang possible lang na magkaroon ng draft is after WrestleMania. Hindi logicable mag-draft ngayon kasi may Crown Jewel na parating. Plus, may Survivor Series pa nakasunod. So sige, mag-draft tayo ng December. Pwede naman, I can consider that down the line. Pero it feels unnecessary. That's for sure. It feels unnecessary. Hindi siya lalo kailangan at ang weird. Ang weird. So yun, continue natin sa Raw bago tayo mag-Fastlane. So, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins was made official for WWE Crown Jewel. Being observed here, si Drew is kinda dominant pero parang face pa din siya. And yung Crown Jewel, holy fuck, that was a really good thing. Parang pinagre-recover pa ni Drew si Seth in a way. Pero yun, the match was set for Crown Jewel and that was a really good proposal. And tawag dito, ang weird. Kasi Damian Priest attacked Seth. Ang weird, daming missed opportunities dito. As long as they can give us this shit, and that will be great as fuck on us as well. Pero medyo questionable na rin siya. Medyo questionable kasi yung mga actions ng Judgment Day lately. Kasi nung mga nangyari sa Fastlane, di ba? Naalala niyo na hindi pinag-cash in ni Rhea si Priest. Parang may something na agad afterwards. Ganun na yung story nun. And pero ang weird niya, parang they're holding Priest back. Kasi ayaw niya din nila matalo si Priest. Pero ito, questionable din sa akin. Unnecessary na yung paggamit ng greatest of all time kay John Cena. It's kinda too much. It's a little bit too much. Ayan. So, ito pa, mga matches na kailangan natin i-forward. So, Jey Uso, tsaka Cody, first time they speak for the first time. Sinabi ni Cody na he was still going to finish the story. Pero, ewan ko, parang at this point, ano bang story na tatapusin nila? Parang yan, Cody, Jey, only good things happen on Fastlane. That's for sure. That's the only thing that we can look forward after nito. And yun lang din ang gumagalaw na story after nito. Yan lang. So, ano pa ba? Yung buong press con ng Fastlane between Jey at saka Raw Cody, puta ka na. That was a really good presentation of them as tag champions. And may chemistry na. That was a really good shit, man. Okay, so Bronson Reed versus Ricochet versus ano ba tawag dito? Chad Gable. Ricochet, Bronson, Chad. That was a really good shit. Come on. And imagine Bronson Reed versus Ricochet. Putang ina, man. It was really good. And then now, he will fight Gunther at some point. Putang ina. I swear, this is gonna be good for sure. Continue. So, Drew McIntyre, parang napapansin ko kay Drew. Parang, Drew is kinda, ano ba tawag dito? Ang character niya, based on my observation, para siyang twinner. He is more on a twinner rather than a heel. Okay naman siya sa akin. At the same time, parang ang gas-gas din. No? In a character na sobrang dominant, sobrang labo na magkaroon ng ganong character twists. Na Cody is, or si Drew is a baby face. Tapos si Seth parang face din. Parang ang pangit, di ba? Sorry, parang ang pangit ng ganun na move. Parang sana mag-turn din si Drew down the line. Then, pag-isipan na rin nila yung plano na ano tawag ito? Para sana pag-isipan na rin din nila yung parang balak nila na hangarin na to kick out Sige, pag-usapan muna natin. Drew is kind of turning face heelish here. That was a really good thing. Pero they're proving something that si JD specifically is proving something to the Judgment Day. And definitely, that was a really good take noting here on the end of Drew as well. And pero yun, McIntyre defeated JD. Tapos puta. Yes, it's a glorified squash match. Yes. Pero kailangan siya. Kailangan siya gawin eh. Parang it was a sense logicable. Ito, sipa. So Becky versus Tegan Nox match ito. Okay lang. That was okay. That was a okay match. Pero that was a really good match. Pero sakto lang para sa akin. Eto, last thing before we take note yung promo ng Imperium before the match. Yung kay Ludwig puta. You guys need to watch it, shit, man. That was a really good take note. Ayan, from Fastlane din, ang kailangan ko i-take note dito, yung finisher ng nila Cody, tsaka ni, patawag dito, nila Cody, tsaka ni Jey Uso, that was a really good, worth to take note as well. As fuck. Ganda kasi ng 1D na yun. Yan lang. So, yun lang naman ang nangyari sa Raw na to. So, parang, ba tawag dito? Alam niyo sa tatlong WWE shows na to, NXT lang yung strong sa wrestling. Yun na yung totoo dito. NXT is the only one who is actually strong when it comes to the matches sa buong episode na to. Totoo na yan. That's for sure too. Pero, yun lang naman talaga. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. And sometimes it don't. Pero sige, continue natin. So, ano pa ba? Ano pa ba kailangan natin pag-usapan? So, Rampage, worth noting natin, yung promo nila, ano ba yung promo dito? Yung promo, actually, ano ba tawag dito? Yung mga promo ni Ortiz tsaka ni Santana, sobrang worth taking note nito. Kaya putangin namin. Sobrang ganda ng promo nila. It's like Eddie Kingston doing shit. Like, come on. Ito, ang alam nyo, take noting din sa mga Bullet Club BCC members. Ang ganda ng mga transition ng mga roles ng mga talents nila without doing anything or illegal or bad things. Ang gaganda ng turns ng mga BCC members na they can do heel work, they can do babyface. Tas sobrang unique nila. Sobrang unique ng characters nila, which is a good thing to me. Hindi rin siya kailangan kasi yung episode na to, hindi rin siya ganong kailangan. Kasi, ba tawag dito? Hindi rin siya kailangan masyado kasi may collision, may dynamite. Mas napapanood naman yung mga yon. Pero, okay naman siya sa akin overall. The episode was okay overall. And yun lang ang kailangan ko i-take note sa buong episode na to. Ayun. So, recap na lang natin yung buong Fastlane since nagawa ko naman din yung review ng episode na yon. So, sa podcast na to. So, nagawan ko na siya ng podcast review sa ating Patreon. So, if you want to check that out, i-close ko na siya in hours before this podcast will be released. So, ano pa ba? Okay. Sorry about that. Sana okay pa yung audio ko. Okay pa ba yung audio ko? Yan. Sana okay pa. So, ayun. Okay pa. So, continue na natin habang nag-work pa yung audio ko. So, Cody and Jey Uso won the tag titles. Then, ano pa ba? So, yung Bullet Club putang ina pre. Na may mention na siya sa TV, which is a good thing. Then, LWO versus Bobby Lashley and Street Profits. Si Carlito yung replacement ng mga members ng dalawa nila Joaquin Wilde. He was the replacement. And that was a really good presentation for Carlitos' return. Sobrang ganda. Sobrang ganda ng presentation nila. Yung theme song, sabi ko nga sa podcast review, not a good thing. Not a good one. Again, triple threat for the women's title. So, Io Sky, Bailey. Merong tinitis na something tong dalawang to. Keep an eye on that. Sinabi ko na to nung review. Sabihin ko ulit, keep an eye on that. So, Io Sky defeated Charlotte and Asuka for the belt. Pero ngayon, hindi kasi nagbe-benefit na yung interference ni Bailey, Io. Mga interference niya, it feels unnecessary at this point. The match was really good. Except for the interferences. Parang hindi siya kailangan. No? Yes, naka-question na rin siya at some point. Pero hindi na rin siya ganong kailangan eh, di ba? Parang hindi siya kailangan. Pero sige, ano pa ba? John Cena versus LA Knight. John Cena, LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso at Solo. Sinabi ko sa review, sa podcast review, na hindi ito yung pinakamagandang match na may Uso na kasama. Parang, yes, sobrang over na nila nasusundan yung pagiging over nila. Pero ito yung match na sobrang weak. Sa tingin ko sobrang weak. No? Nung impression ko. Pero okay lang. The match was really good. Itong Rollins versus Nakamura. Ito, medyo weak din yung rating ko dito. Parang ang dating kasi sa akin is very flat. In a way, sobrang flat. Tapos, hindi ko din ma-imagine on how they presented themselves here. Parang in a way, as in sobrang flat. Parang sobrang flat din ng naging presentation sa buong pay-per-view na to ng Fastlane. Sobrang, ito sabihin ko lang, medyo nawawala ako sa focus. Pero sobrang flat ng Fastlane when it comes to developments. Ang magandang development lang na nakuha natin sa Fastlane was the, ano tawag dito? Ang magandang nakuha lang natin sa Fastlane was the Cody win and the CJ win. Yung development ng Judgment Day, yun din. Pero the rest, sobrang flat. Nakamura, out of the window na ulit. So it's kind of funny to me about that. Pero, ayun, overall rating ko for Fastlane, I can say I can give it C-. Kasi some of the matches really good, pero sa tingin ko kasi walang pinagtunguhan yung pay-per-view na to. Nagbuka siyang filler. Oo. Sana yung Crown Jewel tsaka Survivor Series magbuka silang hindi filler. May GMs na rin, malaking factor yung GM sa mga stories. So, it may help. Pero, itong main event, itong main event, unnatural siya in a way. Yes. Pero it feels flat. Parang nablangkuhan yung story. Nablangkuhan siya. Pero overall, Fastlane, this match was, this card overall was medyo flat. Sa tingin ko medyo flat. Sa tingin ko in a way, sobrang flat niya. Kung papanoorin nyo ng buo, focus na lang kayo sa Cody J, tsaka yung press con. Hindi kayo may iwan. Yun lang yun. Development ng Judgment Day, napapanood naman siya sa Raw at SmackDown. So, hindi kayo may iwan doon. Overall, Fastlane was flat. Flat enough para justify ko yung point na pay-per-view was flat. Yun lang yun. Sobrang flat lang talaga. In a way, na sobrang napaflatan talaga ako sa buong show na to. And when I say flat talaga. That's for sure. Oo, that's for sure na flat talaga yung naging storyline nila. Pero sige, continue na natin. So, gawin na natin sa third half natin yung MWF Road to Fate review. I know it's very late. Sobrang late na nito. Pero kailangan ko pa din sa isa lang sa episode na to. Pero ito yung kasing matawag dito. In a way kasi, kailangan siya i-review at because of the formality. Kasi magli-lead na rin kasi tayo sa susunod na show ng MWF, which is the Todos Los Wrestling preview na rin natin yung GTL versus Fabio 2. Tsaka yung, ano ba tawag dito? Yung tuloy ang laban na i-air na starting tomorrow sa Rock of Manila. So, maybe we can give some previews of what we're getting sa mga shows na yon. And yung, syempre, sa Road to Fate, yung mga nagustuhan ko at hindi ko ganang gustuhan. Sana tanda ko pa. Joke lang. So for now, we're going to take our short break. Let's check our bunkmates on Bunk Collective.
Sales, profit, and engagement na naman ang usapan. Hey guys, Matt and Lance here. Corporate guys rin kami at pagod na rin kami sa ganyang usapang office. Ibahin naman natin ang mga kausap natin. Listen to guests from careers beyond the corporate scene with the Project Offbeat Career Podcast. Imagine talking to historians, gamers, teachers, and the like on how they live differently and succeed in their unconventional careers. Baka sakali, ito naman ang sign to pursue your passions. Kita-kits sa Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
I can't. I'm sick.
Weh, yung tataa.
Boo, you whore. Lockdown pa rin.
Huh? 2021 na.
So, anong gagawin natin?
Di, magstay na lang sa house at makinig sa Cha-Astrology, the podcast. With new episodes every Tuesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
Okay, so welcome back to the podcast. I was trying to adjust these things here. Yeah. So, ayun. Pag-usapan lang natin ng konti Road to Fate 2023. Hindi ko nagagawa ng review, ha. Preview na lang kung ano yung gusto kong mangyari. Yung mga gusto kong nangyari noon. So, Road to Fate, definitely the biggest show, one of the biggest show ng MWF. Ever. When it comes to stories, sa mga nangyari, definitely the biggest thing in MWF history. And yung mga nangyari sa MWF, putang ina pre, wala akong masabi sa storylines na ito. Pero marami tayong continuity na nakuha for this whole episode or for this whole show. Na sa tingin ko, maraming naganap din syempre. Maraming naganap sa eksena, marami ding nangyari noon. And yung mga continuity, ano ba pa? Yung continuity na nangyari sa show na yon, ano tawag dito? Yung continuity na nangyari sa show na to, leading to tuloy ang laban at saka possible din sa Todos. Hindi na ako magbibigay ng mga spoiler doon na. Wala rin naman akong alam kasi manonood din ako. Kasi Noche Buena pa sunod kong show. So, by the way, as we speak right now, we want to congratulate one of the podcast friends here. So, Crystal, congratulations for her win. And she became the APAC Women's Champion on the recent show ng APAC Wrestling. So, congratulations, Crystal. And hindi mo na ako magbabago ng profile dahil sa panalo mo. So, congratulations sa ganun the win. So, yan. Ano pa ba? Ano pa bang kailangan nating i-discuss sa mga bagay-bagay o sa mga sequence o sa mga posibleng mangyari sa mga susunod na pagkakataon? No. Ano ba bang tawag dito? Ang sakit sa ilong. Pero yeah. So, MWF Road to Fate. Maraming naganap na development. And definitely putangin na. Alam mo yun, ang development kasi na maganda sa Road to Fate, they cemented some stuff na magkukontinue until Noche Buena. So, putangin na lalamunan. Sorry. Tong Noche Buena na parating possibly one of the biggest events of MWF. When I'm saying hyping, hindi po ko nang hype basta-basta. We are hyping possibly one of the biggest shows in MWF history. No spoiling. Not to spoil. Every single thing happened on that show. This show can be easily one of the biggest shows in MWF history. With that in mind, sana maayos pa yung audio ko dito. With that thing in mind, bigyan na lang natin ng preview tong Noche Buena rematch between JDL and Fabio. So alam niyo naman yung nangyari sa Road to Fate when Oro Plata Mata attacked both Fabio Makisig and Robin Singh during the post-match assault ng match between Robin Singh and Fabio. So noticeable din dito yung pagsali ni God Killer David Rabena to the mix and being introduced as the newest member of Oro Plata Mata. Some people might like it or some people might not like it. Just like me, parang it feels they're capitalizing the overness, yung pagiging over ni David. Nawala lahat yun. Back to zero. Yun lang yung observation ko doon. No offense to MWF guys. Friends ko naman sila, pero that's my observation about that. Pero sana mag-grab ulit ni David yung pagiging over na yun, I swear. Right? Sana bumalik yun. Pero, Jake De Leon versus Fabio, no doubt, biggest match in MWF. Hyping this pay-per-view show just 3 weeks after of the recent tapings. Man, they're not wasting their shit here. Like, holy hell. This is the biggest match that you need to watch on TV. Not to waste your shit. This is the biggest match in MWF history. And you have to acknowledge and you have to understand this match. You should watch it. Then match number 1, pinutakte ng mga basher, pinutakte ng mga putang ina, na mga hindi naman maka-appreciate sa wrestling, na mga may alam at mga fat shamers, na mga tinapang mga putang ina. That match is definitely one of the biggest match in pro wrestling history. And I feel bad for the people who is actually criticizing that match na, masyado naman kayong gaya-gaya sa WWE. Lahat ng nasa wrestling, gaya-gaya yan. Pero sige, bigyan ko na lang kayo ng preview. So this match, regarding on what will happen, we can still get Oro Plata Mata interferences here, that's for sure. And notably, isa pang preview ko, Crystal versus Chelsea Green. I really love Chelsea Green, by the way. Chelsea Marie, ayan. And Joya versus Super P. We're getting 2 matches for the women. So, nagkatotoo yung tinanong ko sa press con ng MWF. So, yung pagmamanifest, kailangan talaga seryosoin. Pero hindi, joke lang. I would love to see more women's wrestler in MWF or even FPW in extent. Gusto ko makita pa ng mas madaming women's wrestlers sa lahat ng wrestling promotions natin. At only in both of them, extend na rin natin yung WO. Pero technically, WO and MWF, kapit naman yan. So, ganun lang naman yung sequence yan. Tapos, in a way, in extent din, na, ano ba tawag dito? Nawala ako sa focus ko. Yung women's wrestling matches sa Todos Los Santos. Todos Los Wrestling. Abangan nyo rin yun. Putya, kailangan nyo yun abangan. Kung manonood kayo ng live, you need to watch it. You need to look forward for it. Ako nagmanifest eh. Dadya ko lang. Itong Fabio, going back to Fabio, Jake De Leon. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be personal, definitely. It's personal to for JDL. Personal to for Fabio. Ito yung match na sa tingin ko mag-e-establish talaga ng high mark sa MWF. Yung Noche, they cemented themselves as the biggest promotion in the world. in the Philippines na lang. World tuloy nasasabi ko eh. That match alone established themselves as the biggest wrestling promotion in the Philippines. Pero ito, sa tingin ko, can rise the stocks of MWF alone. Ang big question ko na lang dito, is Jake De Leon will win the belt at Todos Los Wrestling? Or Fabio can cement his legacy as the ace of Philippine wrestling? Yun ang mga bagay-bagay na kailangan natin abangan sa Todos Los Wrestling. Pero, to address my pleasure sa MWF, so, August pa dapat ito i-release, pero ay nantay ko muna yung airing sa Rock of Manila. So, natapos siya a few weeks ago. So, magpapasalamat muna ako sa MWF management sa palaging tiwala sa akin at sa show. Tapos, excuse me. And then, kay Veronica, kay Will, sa lahat ng wrestlers ng MWF, specifically kay Jake, kay Fabs, kay sino pa ba? Si Nigel. Siyempre sa buong MWF na rin. So, we're taking note na din sa buong MWF Road to Fate card na to. Si Migs Valdez, putang ina. I'm so fucking impressed on Migs here in his performance. So, kung gusto niyo panoorin yung buong MWF Road to Fate, you need to watch it. Pero, abangan niyo yung boy ko, si Migs, putang ina. Migs Valdez, sa tingin ko napaangat niya na yung stocks niya dito. Yung stock niya kasi, bumaba, nagkaroon siya ng manager na hindi naman kailangan talaga. Kasi sobrang charismatic ni Migs Valdez eh. Sa totoo lang. Na naangatan ulit sa tingin ko nung match na yon. I wish na hindi siya I wish na pahingalan to for him. Bumalik siya ng Noche. That will be great for Migs Valdez then. Para mag-rest up lang muna. Tsaka yung ganong karakter ni Migs Valdez, hindi yan kailangan ng Valley. Sa totoo lang. Yung ganon na galing ni Migs, putang ina. I cannot imagine. Hindi ko ma-imagine yung future ni Migs Valdez sa ibang promotions. Tsaka yung continuity din ng paggalaw niya down the line. No? Pero, Crystal possibly defending the APAC Women's Championship over Chelsea Marie sa Todos Los Wrestling. I cannot wait to see that happen down the line. And possibly the biggest wrestling match in the Philippines today, Fabio versus Jake De Leon 2, is a worth taking to watch. And speaking na rin, may video kasi ako sa nung kay Robin Sane tsaka kay Fabio doon sa tawag dito, Road to Fate. Putang ina, sobrang napapamura talaga ako sa nangyari nun. Ewan ko kung kailangan ko pa siya i-upload. Kasi sobrang na-stuck na rin talaga. Sana maunawaan niyo ako. May day job ako. Nawala na rin sa focus. Yung pag-upload na. Pero yun, may documentation naman ako. Nag-record tayo ng episode. Nahabol naman natin on this episode. No worries ito. Pag sinipag ako, ihiwalay ko tong portion na to. I'm going to create a portion na to. Pero yun, things to look forward lang sa Todos Los Wrestling. Ito nga, itong main event for Road, itong main event na to, Fabio versus JDL. Tapos syempre, yung continuity ng story kina CJ Serapin, based lang sa mga nangyari sa Road to Fate to yung mga nangyari kay CJ Serapin, yun. Baka kailangan nyo siya i-look forward kasi after Road to Fate, mukha pa rin siya sad boy. Yun lang yun. Pero Migs Valdez, GOAT talaga. GOAT siya ng Road to Fate para sa akin. Naangatan niya si SJM in a way. Pero, still, napabilib na rin ako ni SJM, finally. Walang bias. Sa tingin ko napabilib na ako ni SJM. Dito sa event na to, at least pero putang ina. Salamat pa rin MWF sa tiwala sa akin sa pag-cover din ng event na to. One of the yung dalawang event ko na yun, putang ina. Sa tingin ko, favorite ko na lahat yun. Kung pwede ako mamili na, favorite event ko to. Favorite event ko to. Ganon, parang hindi Pero I have to pick Republica pa din. Kasi mas maganda yung experience ko ng Republica. Kahit wala akong phone na dala that time. Pero sobrang memorable ng experience na pumunta ng event Tapos days before that, nawalan pa ako ng cellphone. Kaya nakakatawa. And sobrang memorable ang experience na yun. Buti nakauwi ako ng buhay. Yun ang maganda dun. Pero yun nga, sana ma-enjoy nyo yung MWF Road to Fate o na-enjoy nyo yung MWF Road to Fate, and then sana na-enjoy nyo din yung Todos Los Wrestling na parating. Tsaka yung pag-air din ng Tuloy ang Laban, maraming stuff na aabangan sa sa Tuloy ang Laban din, na i-air na din sa Noche Buena, sa Rock of Manila by next week, and this week pala. Ayun, marami kayong aabangan dapat dito. Si JDL din, marami kayong aabangan kay JDL definitely, tsaka sa Oro Plata Mata. Pero yun nga, before tayo mag-end, Oro, sana down the line, mabalik nga yung lakas ng hype kay Main Max at saka kay, ano ba tawag dito, kay Main Max and kay David Ravena. Sana mabalik yung pagiging over nila. Like literally, I would love to see them back to their fates and yung kanilang mga peaks doon sa mga stories na nangyari with MWF before. Pero I swear, we can't wait to see those things happen. And marami din tayong aabangan at ilulook forward for MWF Road to Fate or sa Todos Los Wrestling at saka syempre sa Tuloy ang Laban. Marami tayong aabangan dyan. Kaya ayun lang sa akin for MWF sa review ko ng Road to Fate. Sana na-enjoy nyo din yung buong show sa mga nakapunta, sa mga nakakilala sa akin, sa mga kilala ko syempre. Sana na-enjoy niyo yung Road to Fate in a way. Saka syempre, speaking of Road to Fate, salamat na rin ako kay Ant. Kasi si Ant ng K-Fib Cafe, binigyan niya ako ng card niya. Tangina, stickers ang hingi-hingi ko, card yung binigay sa akin. Joke lang, Ant. Love you. Yun lang. Get well din pala bro. So, yun lang. Yun. So, yun lang, Road to Fate. Congratulations MWF for successful Road to Fate. And parating na tayo sa Tuloy ang Laban. Siguro manonood na ako madalas ulit sa MWF at sa TV. I'm not getting used to the TV actually. Mas nasanay na ako manood ng live. Yun lang. So, MWF every Mondays naman yan, 9 p.m. Rock of Manila. Kung gusto niyo manood ng wrestling. Yun lang naman, wrestling. Pinoy wrestling sa Rock of Manila yan. Rock of Manila TV. Yun. So, that's it for our podcast this week. So, picks of the week. So, our superstar of the week. Definitely, it has to be Cody and Jay. Then, yung, ano pa ba? Match of the week ko. Ano pa ba? Match of the week should be... Actually, hindi ako pipili ng match kasi Fastlane was bad. Parang I have to pause the match for this week. Then yung woman of the week ko, Toni Storm. Yun lang. Toni Storm was really good lately on TV. And you guys should watch every Toni Storm segment from last week until this week. Putang ina. That was a really good shit. Yun lang. So, nawawalan na ako ng boses. So, I hope you guys can follow the show on all of the social media platforms. Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, sa YouTube. Siyempre, doon na rin sa mga trends natin, sa mga social media platforms natin at the MTG Show Pod. Siyempre, sa mga nagpa-follow din sa Patreon, maraming salamat sa inyo. Na mga nagbabasa ng mga reviews ko for the shows. Ayan, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat sa pagbasa din ng mga Patreon reviews. So, syempre, maraming salamat din sa mga nagpa-follow sa Bunk Collective and sa lahat ng shows ng Bunk Collective. So, you can follow us at The Bunk PH and you can visit our website at thebunkph.com. So, walang episode si Kingdom, si Yuki. So, wala tayong ipa-plug. So, sana supportahan nyo na lang lahat ng Bunk Collective shows sa aming network. So, yun lang. Please support us, all of the Bunk shows sa Bunk Collective. And, ayun lang naman. So, Road to Fate, tapos na. So, tuloy na ang laban by Monday sa Rock of Manila. Then supportahan nyo na din yung FPW. They are now on quarterfinals sa kanilang FPW Tyro Tournament. Mapapakinggan nyo naman din yun. Mapapanood nyo siya sa YouTube ng FPW. And if you are following me on social media, madalas na ako mag-upload ng Reels tsaka ng TikTok videos. Pag sinisipag, sana sipagin ulit ako. Yan lang naman nagpapamotivate sa akin yung pagsipag lately. Pero ayan, magandang algorithm din yung pagti-TikTok. Kahit hindi magsayaw, basta magandang algorithm ang pagti-TikTok talaga. So yan, yun lang naman sa akin for now. I hope you can follow the show on all of the social media platforms at the MPA Show Pod. For now, that's it for the episode. I can see you guys next episode for the podcast. So probably ang susunod na episode na natin is about Bound for Glory 2023. It's gonna be one of the biggest Bound for Glories in years. And yun na nga. See you on the next episode for now. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.